tonight we're staying in Europe's most outrageous football hotel.
And it's not where you'd expect.
A shocker.
But there are two big problems.
We've only ever seen one photo of this place online, so we're not 100% convinced it's even real.
And the team that we're going to watch are known for having the most dangerous set of ultras in European football.
They're trained, organised, and brutally violent.
We were excited to see what the football Penthouse had in store, but things went very wrong for us on this trip.
Okay. Oh.
So get ready for disaster in T-minus 35 hours.
We are at Manchester Airport and we're about to catch our first flight of the year. Last year we visited quite a lot of different football hotels, but this one looks almost too good to be true.
So I'm looking at the hotel now. There's one photo of it, and to be honest, the photo doesn't look real.
I can't tell if this is actually a real photo.
For some reason, I think this is photoshopped and this hotel is a complete catfish.
But if it is real, then it is going to be worth the journey.
Right, it's time to get on the flight.
It's a good job Ryanair don't charge extra for bringing scepticism on board, because it was fair to say that we were excited about heading to our first European football hotel, but we were quite apprehensive because a lot of things could go wrong.
Not gonna lie, this isn't the news I wanted to wake up to.
But one thing they do charge for is sitting together, which is something we chose not to pay for.
Reunited!
How was your flight?
Really good, how's yours?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good to be back together, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Good morning from Slovakia, but more specifically the capital city, Bratislava. But this isn't our final destination. Later today, we will be getting on a train to another city in Slovakia. But before we do that, I think it's wise to give a bit of an introduction to Slovakian football, because to be honest, before I came, I didn't actually know that much about this league.
I was surprised that football isn't the national sport in Slovakia. It's actually ice hockey, which I wasn't expecting.
The top tier in Slovakian football is called the Slovak First Football League. And it's not one of the economic powerhouses of European football. It's probably more comparable financially to League Two in England.
But what they lack in finances, they make up for in passionate fans. Even though it's not the national sport, there are some pretty famous Slovakian football players. I hope that Ryan is not going to ask me to name any.
The ones that come to mind are Hamsik, who I only really know because I used to buy him on FIFA because he has a really crazy haircut. And more recently, you've got Martin Dubravka.
It's now time to go and get the train to our football hotel.
And it's probably a good time to explain why are we doing this?
Last year, we found out there are a handful of hotel rooms that look out onto professional football stadiums. So we set about going to stay in them. And because we've now stayed in every football hotel in the UK, we have a new mission.
We're trying to visit every football hotel in the world, and this is our first international trip.
Let's just hope things don't go wrong.
And we're here, Trnava.
We made it on a double-decker train.
The train only took 30 minutes, and before we knew it, we were just an 8-minute walk from the mystery Catfish Football Hotel. But there was something a little off.
My initial impressions, the hotel seems to be on top of the stadium, which is always a good sign.
In the distance, you can see a room poking out. That is where we are staying.
So this town was described as Little Rome, and we haven't been here for too long, but I'm not quite sure where that nickname has come from.
Welcome to Rome. Mamma mia. This is also another Rome.
We have made it to the City Arena in Trnava,
which is home to FC Spartak Trnava, which are one of the most popular clubs in Slovakia.
It's quite hard to get a look inside the stadium at the moment because it's kind of blocked off, but we've had a few glimpses through the gates and I'm feeling positive now that we're here.
This stadium seats over 18,000 people, and because they're one of the most popular teams in the country, they often have the biggest attended games in the whole of Slovakia.
One of the unique things about this team is that they play an Italian military anthem before every game to get the crowd going.
The most famous player to have ever played for this club is actually the national treasure, Martin Skrtel. He actually ended his career at FC Spartak Trnava.
The last time they won the Slovak League title was in 2018.
But back in the 70s, this team were an absolute powerhouse and they dominated Slovakian football. But since the 70s, they haven't been as competitive and they have lost a lot of ground to their biggest rival, which is SK Slovan Bratislava. This rivalry can often spill over and it's the biggest derby here in Slovakia.
A few years ago, the derby was cancelled after just a few minutes because of fighting. And we've also been told that tanks are coming here to control the crowds.
Wish us luck. Are you excited?
I'm really excited for this one, but I'm worried because I've got high expectations.
My favourite review of this hotel is from Rudolph B. He says, nice hotel, buffet could be improved. Well, Rudolph, there is only one way to find out if that's true. Let's get inside. It is now the moment of truth. We are heading to the hotel to check in and see this room for the first time. I'm tense, nervous, and excited.
Hello, we're here to check in.
Room 107.
Please be good. Okay. Oh, it's really good.
Oh, wow. I've been to a lot of football hotels and this is the best by a country mile. This isn't a football hotel, this is a football penthouse.
It's crazy. It's not just a window, it's every single wall is a floor to ceiling window.
So we're inside the room now and honestly, it has blown me away.
Yeah, so here are my feet in the hotel room, and that is the stand. I reckon there's only 20 meters in that.
I cannot wait to show you around this place. So cool. But the kickoff isn't until 10:30 tomorrow morning, so we're gonna wait until then to show you around.
We obviously want to watch the game from inside this room tomorrow, but we also want to be able to get out into the stands and watch it too. So we need to get tickets tomorrow, which we don't currently have.
That is a problem for tomorrow. Tonight, we're gonna bed down and we will see you in the morning for some football.
And the buffet.
Good night.
Good night.
We went to bed that evening feeling very smug with our football hotel, but things were going far too smoothly, and trouble was unfortunately just around the corner.
Okay, good morning.
Bad morning.
Huh?
Bad morning. Not good morning.
I don't really know where to start. We've woken up and we were a little concerned because we're looking out of our window at the stadium and no one is around. And we're only about an hour and a half before kickoff, which was a bit of an alarm bell, if I'm honest. And then we did some Googling and for whatever reason, we managed to miss the fact that the team are not playing in this stadium today. They're playing at some neutral ground in a really small town in the middle of Slovakia. Also, just to make myself feel better about this whole thing, the only way we found out they weren't playing at this stadium is because they posted on Facebook this morning that this fixture was being played in a different stadium. Another point I would like to make is that I did ring the hotel before we came to check that we had this specific room, and they were like, yeah, you've got this room, no problem. And then I said, is there a game on this weekend on Saturday? And they were like, yeah, there is. To be fair to them, I did say, is there a game on? And there is a game on, but they didn't tell me that the game wasn't actually in this stadium.
It actually felt too good to be true when we arrived here yesterday and we saw this room. And I really wanted to see it with a game happening. But I'm now quite curious about this other place in Slovakia that they're playing.
At this point, we had two options. Either we give up at the first hurdle and stay inside our football penthouse all day, or option two, we hunt down the Spartak Trnava team and try to get to the random stadium before the 10:30 kickoff.
We've come 90% of the way. We might as well do the last 10%. I think it's time to go and check out the buffet
And the buffet.
and head to this stadium that I have no idea how to pronounce. But we will obviously show you around the room after we've watched them play.
It hadn't quite sunk in that we'd travelled all the way to Slovakia to watch a football team play without checking the venue. But despite this oversight, we were intent on making the most out of the trip.
This is Spartak Trnava!
And at this point, we had no idea of the insight into Slovakian football that we would get. But first,
The buffet.
What are your thoughts? Do you think the buffet hate was warranted?
I think the buffet's great. Handmade eggs, cucumbers, sweet tomatoes, coffee.
Small but mighty. Just like a Kellogg selection pack.
after exposing Rudolph B as a fraud, it was time to get a taxi to the remote mystery stadium, and its location was intriguing.
I've had a quick look at where this place is on a map, and it just seems to be in the middle of nowhere, so I'm quite curious to see what it's like. Hello.
Do you support Spartak Trnava? Are you a football fan? Do you support football? No, okay.
We've arrived at what we think is the destination. It took quite a while to get here. There's not many people around.
Spartak Trnava are definitely playing here today because their team bus is here, which is a bit of a giveaway, but there's no sign of the team. There is a sign of maybe 10, 11 fans here, but it all looks very muted. It's so low key. It's like not even a national league level sort of attendance here. It's really, really small scale. Oh, they're here, right, they're here. Ready for business.
After the teams kicked off, we managed to speak with one of the fans, and we found out this wasn't a standard league match. It was actually a winter group stage competition, primarily for Czech teams. There was a bit of a language barrier, so we weren't able to get to the bottom of why they were playing at this stadium. So if anyone does know, please let us know in the comments.
It's not quite what I was expecting. It's really low key. There's not that many fans here at all.
But we have successfully located the Spartak Trnava team. When you look at the scoreboard, it says they're playing at home and it says the other team are the visitors. But they're not at home because we have a hotel in their home ground and they're not there.
It's also freezing. So the fans have brought blankets with them, which seems like a good idea. And also, when it got to half time, loads of people left and just went and sat in their cars.
We didn't think that any of the ultras would come out of their way to come to a game like this, but they are here. As soon as the team scored, a flare went off and we were all engulfed in red and black smoke. So at least we got to experience that.
Also, I don't know if we were supposed to, but we haven't paid for a ticket and there's no one even checking the tickets. You can just walk straight in.
Having thought about it, the thing I'm most upset about is that there is no food outlet. So I'm not going to get to try what Slovakian football food is like.
But now there was only one thing left to do. It's not every day you find yourself in Slovakia with the keys to a football palace. So it was time to head back to Europe's most outrageous football penthouse and really enjoy it.
Are you ready? Open sesame. Welcome to the football penthouse, baby. Oh my goodness. This is the best football hotel Europe has to offer. It is so much better than I ever imagined.
I think that you could probably jump from here into the home stand. That's how close we are to that stand.
Out of that window, you've got the home fans, and out of this window, you've got the away fans.
I think it's funny that the away team have to sit inside a netted stand. I feel like that's just a sign of how raucous these matches can get in Slovakia.
Another nice little touch, the window's open.
For some reason, they've chose white for the sofas and there's quite a few stains on them, which I'm guessing is spilt drinks when people have just been in here having a good time.
But you can sit in this corner sofa and you can literally be watching the football. So cool. And we're in the corner stand, so you get an amazing view of the whole pitch from this room.
It is a football fan's dream. It doesn't matter what club you support, it is cool sleeping in this bedroom, and when you wake up, you pull back the curtains and you're looking at the home stands.
We've been to a lot of football hotels, and The bed is near the window, but I don't think we've ever been to one where you can actually be sat in the bed looking directly at the pitch.
Out of all the football stadium hotels we have stayed in so far, this is the one that feels most like you're sleeping inside a stadium. The cool thing about this hotel is that these rooms are exclusive. There are only 4 football penthouse suites in this hotel. We thought it was too good to be true that we had this room booked on a game day. It was too good to be true. We have it booked on a game day, but they were playing at the wrong stadium, so there you have it. But it does mean that this room is actually really expensive, considering that there's not a match on today.
So this room for one night cost us 133 euros. But because the game was supposed to be played at 10:30 this morning, we actually booked this place for 2 nights. So we ended up spending 266 euros in total. However, we've since learned that if there is a game on, this hotel room actually costs a lot more. And they're really hard to book because they're in high demand. What have we learned from this experience?
Football stadium hotels are way better than normal hotels, even if the team aren't playing.